Hey, this is Tim here with Expert Power Wash. Got a brand new skid build behind me here to show you guys today. This is an 8-foot double trouble skid. Let's take a look. All right, here it is. This is 8 feet. Pressure wash and soft wash truck skid. This slides into the bed of your truck. The shelves overlap the sides. This is about the perfect setup if you're going to get into the pressure washing business. You need something that's going to have all the cleaning power that this one does. As we get along to the front here, we'll jump into the pressure washer here on the left-hand side. So this is our custom built 8-gallon a minute gear dry pressure washer. This is a custom machine, which means it's not an off-the-shelf machine. You can't just go out and buy this machine. This is kind of spec'd out for us. We do sell this machine, but let's jump into what makes this machine so special. So typically on a pressure washer, you're going to have the unloader, and that's what regulates the flow of the pressure, and that is typically attached to the end of the pump here. So what we've done here, this is a 90 half-inch hose. This is all custom-made hose, and then it goes down to the pulsar unloader, that unit there with the black handle, and then that is block mounted. All stainless steel connections in and out. This is a flow sensitive unloader, so that means when you pull the trigger, you're not going to have that violent jerk in your hands every time you pull the trigger. There's no trapped pressure in the line, which is kind of unique. So when you're off the gun, your line is actually limp. What that does is it makes it a lot easier to pull a hose around a house or the building or your project wherever you're working. It's a lot safer. So if you're up on a ladder or a lift and you're spraying, even a drone, you don't have all that backed up pressure in the line right behind the gun. So the pressure doesn't build up until you pull the trigger. It's just a couple second delay, but it slowly builds up and it works, just overall functions a lot better than a typical pressure washer. This does have the recharging system on it. Like I mentioned, it is a gear drive. So what that means, there's the pump, you got the gearbox, and of course the engine. This is key start, has the hour meter on it. Got the Honda exhaust. Most machines will use an aftermarket exhaust, so these function just a little bit better. Nothing wrong with some of the aftermarket ones, but if it can be better, those are little things that we've decided to do on our pressure washers. All right, we'll jump into how this thing's ran. So it goes into a T-strainer filter right there that has a stainless steel filter inside. It's that little tan container type item bolted to the side of the skid. You got all 1-inch hose going in and out. Goes down to the side of the tank there. Then of course out here you have a 1-inch drain. So if you need to quickly rinse your hands off, your eyes, or just empty the buffer tanks, you can do that quite easily with this 1-inch drain. Got a Schedule 80 ball valve here at the end. We use these super expensive clamps. We get them out of the UK. They just hold up better. We've used a lot of other things and they end up leaking or they don't seal up as nice. Those are really nice clamps, like, again, all stainless steel. They work very well. You got our slim fuel tank here. It just neatly fits into the side of the skid. Where the tailgate is, the tailgate comes up and you can just easily reach over, fill your gas tank there, and that is on the driver's side. So most trucks have a fuel door on the driver's side, so you just pull up a little bit or kind of pull into the middle and you can fill your truck and your pressure washing skid at the same time. Take a look there. So this is going into the pressure washer. These are all real nice brass fittings. This is a rollover valve. So what that does is allows air to be pulled into the gas tank without it pulling in fluid or leaking out. So this has a little ball in the bottom, so as the gas splashes up, it pushes that ball up so you don't have any leakage. It's really the right way to vent a tank. Now that we're over here, let's talk about some of the other things. We got the bypass line, that's that clear line. So when you're off the gun, the pressure washer will recirculate back into the buffer tank. Then a little further up, you got the 7-gallon soft wash pump there. That's made by Remco. That's a dual control. So that's the upgraded pump. In most applications or other builds that we see, most people are just using a regular 12-volt pump. Those are designed for the RV industry, for pumping water. This one's actually designed for bleach. So it's upgraded. You got to be careful if you guys are buying one of these and you're not getting it from us or a reputable pressure washing vendor. There's numbers on here and it'll say dual control. The bodies of them look exactly the same, so make sure you get the right one if you're shopping for one of those. Then going against the tanks here, this is our custom built system. We get all our components from Tucker and we build out this pure water system. So let me explain kind of how it works. The pump pulls in water out of the buffer tank. It goes into the sediment filter, carbon filter. From there, it goes into the RO membrane filter. And then lastly, it comes out through the DI filter there. And from there, we got it routed up to that rail here above the box. And that's your pure water window cleaning system. So it is powered, like I said, it has a pump on there. We do build these systems without a pump, but this is kind of like the deluxe version. You got a pressure gauge in there that'll tell you how much pressure you're pressuring into your window cleaning system. You can also, what's really cool about this one, Tucker makes these on their pump plates. You can actually add more 12 volt items to that fuse box right there and control that all from that box. Overall, really nice system. These are high quality, good filters. All right, let's go on over here. This is the GX390 key start. So it's just a little bit smaller. The other big machine over there, that's 8 gallons a minute. This one is 5.5 gallons per minute. So we build these with, this is a double treble skid. We do these with 2 8s or this setup, which I really like. You're not pulling all your water when you're running both machines. So this is going to, your water's gonna last a little bit longer and you're still gonna have all the cleaning power with a 5.5. So what I typically do when we ran them like this, I had a 5.5 and an 8 on my truck when I was out in the field. We would have the main guy, if they're doing a big concrete pressure washing job, this would be hooked up to the surface cleaner. And then you have your other guy on the wand and he's doing in all the cutting work. This is another custom built machine. You have the recharging system. You got the engine, gear drive, pump. This one is set up with a flow sensitive unloader as well. That is block mounted. So again, we're not having our unloaders mounted to the pump there. That reduces the vibration and breakage points. They just tend to last a little bit longer. And then this one has a downstream bypass. So he's able to pull chemical into the pressure washing line. There's a lot to get into with downstreaming, but it works very, very well. You typically get about a 1 to 2% draw rate. So for like house washing, concrete pre-treating, post-treating, building washing, some roofs, you still need the soft wash system, you know, the 12 volt pump over there. But you can do a lot with this. You got way more volume than the 12 volt. We built our business off of downstreaming many years ago before we started getting into running our store and custom builds here. So to me, this is a necessity. So basically pressure comes in here the way we have it set up. So here's the line that comes out of the pressure washer. So we have that ran all the way over from the pressure washer, comes over. This is the pressure washer to hose reel whip line. Everything's on quick connects. So if you don't want to use your downstream system, you can go directly into the hose reel and it comes out your pressure washer line there, or you can simply disconnect this and then connect it into the back of the downstream bypass. So if you was to turn this like that and your pressure's coming in, it would force it to come up through here. Uses a Venturi effect. If I can show you here on the other side. And it's actually going to draw out of the bleach tank and into here. So you're spraying bleach. You want to make sure you have our house soft wash gun. We don't recommend just any pressure washing wand on this because you are pulling chem into the gun. So we have a gun with a ceramic ball and it's actually designed to spray chemical. Then of course, if you wanted to rinse, simply turn this and then water is going to find the path of least resistance. It's going to flow across here and then you're going to be just on water. Now we do build skids with a remote system. So basically you still have this downstream bypass. This ball valve's all controlled with the push of a button. So we can install this This is considered our deluxe downstream system, and then the other one that we do is the Flow Pro system. So we really like the Flow Pro. There's been a lot of R&D put into that unit, and it just works very well. So that's kind of a little overview of how the downstream system works. Going over to the hose reels here. These are 12-inch stacked Titan reels. They have the stainless steel manifolds in them. So very, very important if you are looking to build something like this yourself and we're not doing it and you're sourcing things, make sure, because Titan has two different reels. They have one that has a regular steel pipe that runs through here. So this is the manifold. This one, like I said, is stainless steel, the swivel stainless steel. But they make a cheaper version, and we see it all the time. Guys will call up and say, hey, do you price match? I seen this Titan reel online for this, such and such price. We get to dig it in, and they have a steel manifold. Those are bad in the soft wash industry because the bleach flows into, so this is a soft wash hose. You got 6% bleach flowing in through here, and it's going to just corrode and eat that thing away. It still does it to stainless, just not as fast, and they last a lot longer. So highly recommend, do your homework, make sure you get the right reel for the right application. So like I mentioned, these are electric, 12-inch, and then we use a stainless steel stack kit here, and then it's just bolted to the bottom reel. The bottom reel here has 200 feet of Fierce Jet. This is really nice pressure washing hose. Nice smooth jacket. Most hoses that are gray they have like a wrapped, rougher jacket. These tend to last a little bit longer. Can't really see the specs on here, but these are 4250, so that's your working pressure, well above what most machines are, and then it has a burst rate of over 10,000 psi. So really nice hose. It's light, still heavy duty, works pretty well. It's about the best you can get in the pressure washing industry as of right now. Then of course we put a ball valve swivel. So this is the nice stainless steel Mossmatic. So as you are pulling hose and you're moving around, your gun at the end is going to swivel. You could simply turn this ball valve if you want to switch between a surface cleaner and a gun without having to run back and turn off your pressure washer. These work really well. This is an authentic DN10 ball valve. We see knockoffs of these floating around in the industry. There's quite a bit out there, especially on Amazon. So make sure, again, if you guys are sourcing things, I don't want to make this video just about, hey, come buy my build. We love building these things. We put a lot of time and a lot of detail into these, but also want this video to serve as kind of a resource because we see it all the time. We're in and out of the Facebook groups. I don't always comment, but I see a lot of questions on there. And if a guy would just watch one of our videos, take a look at how we're doing it. If you want to build something like this yourself, go ahead. We highly recommend it. It's going to help you when you need to service your skid or your pressure washing setup. If you've built it, you know how it all works and you know how to service it. But if we are building something like this, a professional setup, I want to show you all the details as well. So again, I want this video to serve kind of as a more of a source of help versus just a, hey, we're trying to sell this skid. I didn't talk about this up here. So this is our stainless steel 4-nozzle holder, or it's referred to as a J-rod. This is all stainless steel nozzles. These are perfectly dialed in for the 12-volt pump. We have a stainless steel quick connect on here. And then of course it is crimped onto the hose here. This is all 1/2 inch. This is an ST510. These are really nice guns that work very well. Some guys will put this long tube on there. I've ran so many different soft wash guns over the years that I've always landed back at this one here. So this works the best. If I didn't mention it, this is also Fierce Jet soft wash hose, 1/2 inch, really nice stuff. It's built for ag and spraying chemicals. Going to the next set of hose reels over here. This is 100 feet of Flexzilla garden hose. And this is the 3/4 stuff. So this is going to be thicker. Especially if you're running 2 pressure washers, you want to have all the water flow you possibly can into your buffer tanks. And then going down to this next hose reel here, this is identical to this one, 200 feet of Fierce Jet. Both of these are functioning off of each pressure washer. Or one thing I did forget to mention to you guys is even on our pressure washer, we have quick connects here. So if you wanted to connect a hose and run it directly off the pressure washer, everything's all set up so you could run it really any way you want. While we're over here, let's take a look at the bottom. So these are the tanks. You can see that we have 2 over 100 gallons. Some tanks plumbed in together. That's 1.5 inch hose going in between them. And we have this special method. I'll have to do a video on it sometime to show you how we install bulkheads, but we don't get leaks anymore because we changed the way that we install these things. We're using those really nice clamps out of the UK. So those are the bigger ones, and then those are the ones for the 1 inch. 100-gallon bleach tank there on the back. We used to use a 50-gallon or 55-gallon tank for bleach. These are just so much better because you have way more capacity for bleach. So if you're out on a commercial project, you don't have to keep on stopping or go fill up with bleach halfway through the job. You're going to have all you need here. Got the gun. Looks like we have an extra lance. The customer ordered with this skid. This is another look at that Pier Water hose reel. So we start with 3/8 hose. It's going to, you're gonna have way better pressure when you're flowing 3/8 out to the 5/16, and then it ends here. So 100 feet of this 3/8 stuff, and then 100 feet of the 5/16, so a total of 200 feet. You can get just about anywhere you need to get. Oh, one thing to mention, if you have water in your buffer tank, with the Pier Water system working off of a pump, so let's say you're doing some route work, storefronts, things like that, the pump will pull it out of the buffer tank, so you really don't have to hook up the water if you're just doing some route work. So that makes it really nice to use if you're doing just regular repeats, monthly window cleaning contracts. Let's take a look in the box here. Looks like all of his paperwork's in there. We have a full maintenance guide, and then we have a general guide here on the SH percentages, bleach percentages for your soft wash solution. That'll get you going pretty close to where you need to be with all your soft wash mixes. I got the Interstate battery back there. We do have the pump on a fuse, and this is a full-size fuse. We're using all USA marine grade wiring. We're not using any of the Amazon stuff. And then we have a circuit breaker here that's made in the USA as well, and that's going to protect your hose reels. Really nice aluminum made in the USA box. We try to source as much stuff as we can out of the USA, especially right now in the current climate. If you're watching this video, there's a lot of tariffs. But overall, I just think we make better stuff here in the US. It's way nicer stuff. Things are built with pride. 7-gallon soap tank. Take a look at some of our plumbing here. Everything is ran really nice and neat. One thing I haven't talked about in our videos a whole lot is why we put our mixer here and not on the back and not on the other side. If you think about it, if this mixer was all the way over there, we'd be running all of these hoses longer lengths, and you're not going to have as good as draw rates as putting this thing as close as you can to the tanks. So it's just one hose out that goes to the pump, and now out of the pump over to the hose reel. So it just helps everything work a lot better when you have things closer and shorter runs of hoses. This is our Pro Mixer XL. So we got water, soap, and bleach, and then we put a rinse valve here. What this does is it allows you to bring water in through your bleach line. I did a whole video on this particular unit, actually 2 of them. If you want to take a look at some of those videos on the channel, I explained in depth why we put a 3-way valve on our mixers and exactly what it does in more detail. Also, there's another video that'll show you how to run this thing that is more detailed as well. Just overall, we use oversized check valves and oversized mixing valves on the water and the bleach. It's going to allow it to meter just a lot better. A couple of the last things here to show you guys. We have our surface cleaner rack. This is locking, stainless steel hinges. We got the Whisper Wash Classic in there, and then this customer also has a Tucker water-fed pull. This is a 30-footer carbon fiber. Let's see if I can get you a closer look here. That's the new one. It's like a synthetic boar's hair. It's not a boar's hair, but it's a synthetic version of it. Works really well, has an aggressive scrub on windows. The Pier Water comes up through, let's see if we can get you a close look. That 5/16 hose just plugs into the top of that, and then it goes out to pencil jets in the brush. So you're spraying Pier Water and scrubbing. It'll leave your windows spot free. One other thing I didn't show you guys here. We have a rinse valve here for the downstreaming system. So We can have the downstream system pull either water or chem. So when you're downstreaming, you'd be in this position. And then on the last run, when you're doing your final rinse or your final side of the house, turn this down to water. That way you're still on your downstream, but you're pulling water in through that system and completely rinsing it out as well. So pretty well thought out skid. This was all came from me being in the field and running the truck over years and looking at what broke and what we could do better to build these things. We're using all stainless steel hardware. We do warranty our skid frames. These things are 1/4 inch square tube. These things are heavy duty. If you look at some of the gussets, the welds, these are nice penetrating welds. We don't have a part-time fabricator. We have a dedicated fabricator. This is what he's done for 15 years. He's taught high school classes on how to weld. We're blessed to have such a great fabricator in-house. Here's another gusset here. If you look at how we've built these, this is square tube that runs down here. So we didn't just stop at the square tube, put a gusset on there, gusset down there. These things are built to handle the weight. That's one of the reasons why we lifetime warranty all of our skid frames. All the clamps, hose clamps, if they're not the UK ones, the ones that are smaller, they're full stainless steel. Let me show you that real quick. Most guys will cut corners here, and it's very sad because these aren't really expensive. But this hose clamp here, this is about $1 if you get one, like say from Home Depot. They say that they're stainless steel, but what happens is this band itself, if you get a closer look, this band itself, if you're getting one from like Home Depot, this will be stainless, but the screw itself is not stainless. So it's just one of those little ways where retailers kind of cheap out and they're not full stainless. We source a full stainless steel clamp. We use the Dixon HSS. If anybody is wanting to get super technical and wonder what clamps we use, those are really nice, high quality. We do that on all of our smaller hoses, and then of course those clamps out of the UK. If you guys have any questions about our builds or would like to learn more, I'm going to put some of our contact information down below in the description. We are located in the Portland, Oregon area. So just south of Portland, Oregon, the end of the Oregon Trail, actually. We ship all over. We have our skids currently in 26 states. And then we have a bunch up in Canada. And then we actually have some out of the country as well. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Hopefully this helped as a resource, like I said earlier, and also an introduction to what we do over here at Expert Power Wash. All right, guys, have a great day.